In studio this morning, we have Nathan Kelly, and we're going to be talking all about hip hop, hip hop. Put the teeth back in, Joe. We're going to be talking about hip hop dancing. And Nathan, good morning. You're very welcome to the program.
Good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. So, first of all, I suppose we'll have to say why you're here, because there's a major event taking place here in Dublin next tomorrow week,
Sunday week. Yeah.
Tell us a little about what's happening there.
What's happening? It's something called Red Bull BC1 for anybody who doesn't know that, which is why I'm here.
Yes.
That's Red Bull's sponsored breakdance event.
Okay.
It's an internationally known event, and to be honest, in the breakdance community, it's probably the biggest event that happens. To go to the world final, which this year is in Tokyo, this coming December, you must have a country cipher.
What's a country
Excuse
cipher?
me, yeah.
That's
So
okay.
you must have a country qualifier. If you imagine it like Ireland now, Sunday week, thankfully, for the first time in 12, 13 years, we're getting a country qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that then gets to go to Tokyo to compete for the world final.
Right. So this is like no different than perhaps qualification for the Eurovision Song Contest or something
Along those lines.
Something like that. So that's all going to take place here on Sunday week. Is that open to the All Ireland? Is it the 32 counties of Ireland?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, yeah. And how popular is this? See, I keep saying hip hop, but it's hip hop. How
Hip-hop.
popular is it in Ireland?
It's very popular, to be honest. Internationally, it's everywhere. Any country in the world you go to, you'll be able to find it somewhere.
It's somewhere, yeah.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose folks that are listening out there, that if you want to know how popular it is, I believe the tickets are all sold out.
They are indeed.
And that's a week to go. And it takes place in the
Button
Factory.
Yes.
Is that Temple Bar?
Temple Bar, right in the middle of Temple Bar.
Right.
Now, I'll say the tickets are sold out for the finals, which I believe are around 6, 7 p.m. But for the qualifiers, they're not sold out. So, and they're free. It's open to the public around 1 p.m. in the Button Factory Sunday week.
Oh, okay. So the ticket, it's free to go in for the qualifiers, but whatever takes place after the qualifiers, the final, those tickets are all sold out.
And not to confuse it, by qualifier, we also have a preliminary round on the Sunday. That's the one that's open to the public.
Okay.
And then after our prelims, we have our own finals. And then the winner goes to the world finals.
Okay, very good, excellent. And naturally enough, you're taking part in all that.
I am indeed.
And you're going to go to Tokyo.
That's the plan.
And you're going to win the whole lot. And
Yes.
come back with the big medal around your
Exactly.
neck.
Wearing the tricolour.
Wearing the tricolour. So how did you get into this?
How did I get into it? I guess hip hop in general, the culture, the music, the art. I got into that thanks to my mom, thanks to my brother. They're both dancers. My brother's a producer and a hip hop DJ. So not far off yourself, Joe, you know.
Do never say I'm a DJ. That's an insult to DJs.
An MC, a microphone controller. But yeah, so that would have been what got me into it originally.
Right.
The relatives. But then I was into martial arts for a small amount of time. I was enjoying the discipline that would come from that. I enjoyed the hard work and training, but I also liked the dance. What I found with breakdance, and about 5 years ago, I met a man now I've known him for a lot longer than this, but we became good friends. I met a man named Leon Dwyer, and he was teaching Monday to Saturday every week. And he said to me, I was studying, I was doing a PLC in journalism at the time, and I said, look, I want to do something that's fulfilling me.
Okay.
That's making me, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
Keeping me fit, but also something to do. So Monday to Saturday, we would just train. And from that, I believe the more I did it, the more I got into it. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
And then as I saw I could travel with it, which I have been doing for the last few years, the more I traveled, the more people I met, the more I learned from different people, the more interested I became.
Yeah, and where have you travelled within the, doing your dance?
Yeah, so unfortunately I haven't been able to leave the European Union, bar Serbia. But outside of that, I've been to pretty much like Western and Southern Europe. I've been across it plenty of times. Spain, Italy, France. You know,
Right.
the typical spots, but not
Yeah.
necessarily in
Yeah.
the holiday
Yeah.
resorts. You know.
Yeah.
There's a few different places I haven't been, such as Latvia or Poland, those kind of things. But Slovakia, I spend a lot of time in. Every year, there's a massive competition called Outbreak, which would also be sponsored by Red Bull, but not be associated with their World Final. So yeah, I've traveled there a lot. I would spend places such as France, Spain, Portugal, Italy. They would receive a lot of government funding for breakdance events.
Okay.
So oftentimes you'll find yourself traveling somewhere with a cash prize of maybe €2,000 for the winner, and it's in a beautiful sunny country. So it's kind of a win-win.
Win-win. So you have to, every time you go away then, you've got to finance this yourself.
Correct.
As well. Right.
Excuse me. Correct.
Okay. But I suppose, as you say there, the good thing is that you could treat it like a holiday.
To a degree.
You're going away, and like it's a serious business, but like you're going for a holiday.
Exactly.
The music that one would dance to in hip hop dancing, is there has to be a certain type of music now for that, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get up there now, and although we were talking about this inside, when I mentioned you couldn't get up and dance like hip hop to ABBA, but maybe you could.
Yes.
But let's say my year, James Taylor. Now, there's no way you're going to get up and do hip hop to dance Taylor.
It wouldn't magnetize me onto the floor.
But there's a
you
word.
know?
Yeah. Well, actually, you see, sometimes I can get down with the kids, you know. So listen, would this be what you might dance to? Listen, I've never played anything like this before on the radio, so let's have a look at this.
It's time to burn.
Is that it?
To be honest with you, yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
You wouldn't be against it.
That's a classic right there.
I leave that for that.
As I said to you inside Joe, and I'll say it again, there's a line between could I and would I.
Yeah.
So technically, yeah, I'm sure I could definitely on beat dance to that.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you wouldn't in a competition, no.
Is it so there's a certain type of music you
I would call
dance
it a breakbeat.
Yeah.
To give a quick origin of where it comes from, if you know what a breakdown is in music, usually when the drummer does his solo with a couple other instruments there here and there, in a James Brown track would be my prime example. That drum beat is what we would dance to.
Okay.
We would call it a break or break beat.
Yeah.
That's developed into more things such as drum and bass or similar to what you've played there, like kind of a trancey, dancey kind of high BPM break beat. You have your finger on the pulse, Joe. I gotta say,
I'm learning trancey dancey. I didn't know.
I don't think I'm using any real words, but
That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
I hope the message is getting across.
Tell me about this guy, DJ. What's his name again? DJ Couch, is it?
DJ Couch.
Yeah.
From where?
Jamaica.
DJ Cool Herc.
Cool Herc. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So historically, Cool Herc would be known for hosting the first ever hip hop party. It was in Sedgwick Avenue in New York. It's cited as after that party, every hip hop was created or it began. You know, it is a party culture in essence. It's more of an expression. Now it's very official and it has sponsorships and things like that. But when you're talking about Cool Herc's party, which is late 60s, early 70s, that's a party vibe. You know, that's the origins of the dance and the style and the art and the music.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Cool
So
Herc.
you've got to be really into your music as well as the dance itself. How often do you train a week? You must really, between training and you got to keep yourself fit.
Yeah.
So how often do you train a week?
Generally speaking, if I can, daily.
Daily.
At least twice a day.
What would you do then to keep fit? Would you jog or anything like that?
Because breakdance is so much cardio, I would generally stick to that as my cardio workout.
Okay.
And then I would have other things like maintenance, a lot of stretching, yoga, that kind of Pilates.
Right.
It would be on par with something like calisthenics. So where body weight exercises where you might hang, pull-ups, push-ups, handstand press-ups, these kind of movements that are
right
building your core but without lifting too much heavier than what you actually weigh. because a lot of the dance you have to just pick yourself up. You have to hold your own body weight, you know.
Yeah. So let's say you go into this competition on Sunday week, and how long of a time have you got to do your dance?
Um, uh, Roughly 45 seconds to 60 seconds per round.
Okay.
Some people, again, it's hard to make a blanket statement because there's an exception to every rule.
Yeah.
But the maximum people would dance would be about 60 seconds, and the minimum would usually be about 45 seconds.
Right. So you're not dancing for, let's say, the complete run of a dance music, let's say 3 minutes or anything like that.
No, and you're not privy to the music either prior to you dancing. It's only as soon as you step onto the floor, the DJ decides in that moment what he wants to play.
Okay.
And that's the first time you and the other person are hearing that.
Right.
Now, that's where knowing the DJ helps. And for example, with Red Bull, 80% of the music that you must play is Red Bull produced music. So
Yeah.
I have a fair idea of what's going to play at this specific competition. But generally speaking, you wouldn't know until you step onto the floor.
Right.
And then sometimes, for example, if I know that this song only has about 30 good seconds, and then after that, it's not what I want to dance to,
Yeah.
I might just do a 30-second round, but I might put all my most explosive moves, everything that I think wows the judges and shows my level. I might compact all that into the 30 seconds.
Right. So get as much as you can in, and you know what? It's don't hit me for saying this.
No.
It's a bit like Strictly Come Dancing when they're watching the ladies and the gents dancing around the floor, and they said, "Oh, you've done a lovely frickle there," or something like
Yes,
that.
it's in the details.
So it's in the details. It's like what you say there. Like there's a certain move, and that's going to come in, and that's the one that's going to get me points.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's naturally enough, boys and girls.
Yes.
So the competition itself, it could be you could be up against a girl dancing.
Not in this specific competition, no. In this one, it's separated into what we call B-boys and B-girls.
Okay.
So break boys, break girls.
Okay.
Generally, when you travel, most competitions are open, so you never know who you get against. It could be a man, woman, whatever.
Yeah.
But for the more official competitions, they generally split it into B-boy, B-girl.
Right.
Not that B-girls are not that women aren't allowed to compete. One of the big things that made Red Bull create a B-girl section was, I think it was after 10 years, finally one B-girl finally qualified to the world final.
Yeah.
Of the main breaking section. It was just open B-boy, open breaking was the name. When she qualified, she campaigned to have a B-girl section to give the women more opportunity to be seen.
Okay.
So since I believe her name is Ayumi from Japan, so since I might have gotten that wrong,
okay.
I'll have to fact check that, but definitely a Japanese B-girl that made that development in the community.
Okay, right. So yeah, that's brilliant. Age-wise, what's the oldest person, would you reckon, that you've come across?
That I've come across personally, you'd be surprised. I've met a lot of men in their mid-40s. These Japanese ladies that I've met in their mid-40s. But generally speaking, the prime for what I do would be 31, 32.
Okay.
That would be the majority of the people that I'm meeting at the moment would either be younger than me, so I'm 24 years of age.
Okay.
Well, I will be this April, and I generally meet people my age or about 8 years older. I find in between that I don't meet too many. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. For the competitive side of things, once you're getting into your mid to late 30s, unless you're a supreme athlete.
You wouldn't beat anybody like me that's 40.
It's very tough, a 40-year-old man such as yourself.
Yeah. We'd skip that. But having said that, as you said earlier on, it keeps you fit.
Oh yeah.
So there's no harm in elderly. How dare you say that? Older people.
Yes,
older people.
I'm very young, Joe. Everyone's old compared to me.
Older people. Taking up some sort of this, it keeps them active, keeps them healthy.
Yeah, I would say
it's not ballroom dancing, though, folks. So don't.
Don't expect to step in.
I've seen this guy move once, and I can tell you, There's plenty of shapes and everything else. Wouldn't do my back good.
That's
for
yeah.
sure.
You know, when you generally speaking, the reason you wouldn't find people older than mid-30s outside of it being them being in their prime, like we would dance anywhere.
Yeah.
I've danced on concrete. I've done shows on gravel. I've done it in car parks and tarmac, and like we would dance anywhere, and I would still do all my crazy stuff there, my backspins and anything.
Yeah.
So you will find a lot of injured people.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I'd
who
imagine so.
do street shows as an income. You know, so they would be dancing on concrete 7 to 10 times a day, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
You know, and you will find, you know, ACLs torn, like knees torn, patellas cracked, shoulders, elbows. But I definitely think this generation, and perhaps the one just before me, are more interested in their fitness, in their body's well-being, as opposed to just throwing themselves at the floor until they're broken.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do could be used to stay fit, but I think it's how you apply it, you know.
Well, I'm just thinking, you wouldn't do a head spin now on a gravel.
No, you wouldn't. Well, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. But I'll try this.
I have videos to the contrary.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's fantastic. I tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to take a wee break now for. Excuse me, I'm losing the voice. We are just going to take a wee break now for a moment, and we'll come back, and you can give us another bit of information on what's happening. And okay, the voice is going. We'll be